Greetings out there, YouTube land. This is Morrisman, and as always, I thank you guys for coming to my channel. Per request, one of my subscribers asked me to do this video, and it's a pretty good video. He said, because he's a young, inspiring guitar player, and he said that, is there any information, or should I say, any advice you can give me as far as getting on the path to becoming a professional musician? Or do you have any suggestions? So I put together a little list that I think might be helpful to the young, inspiring, up-and-coming musicians. And the first one is, which is obvious, know how to play your instrument, you know. You don't have to be the greatest in the world, but just pretty good at what you do, you know. And that takes a lot of hard work and practice. And if you're willing to put the practice and work in, you can get there, you know, because it does require a great deal of practice. Because everybody that knows me personally know I have a good sense of humor. But when it comes to the music, I don't play. You know, it has to be done right. There's no half-stepping or, you know, dragging of feet. Either you're going to do it or you don't. You know, plain and simple. So that's the first one. Know how to play your instrument. And you don't have to be the greatest at it, you know. But, you know, you need to know how to play your instrument. Because one of the things that I had to work on personally was getting through a whole composition without any errors. You know, and that took me a little while to do that. But after I just kept playing and plugging along, I get to the point that my performances, for the most part, can be just flawless. You know, no errors at all. So the second one is being able to read music. I mean, just sight read. You don't have to be an expert and one of those guys with the chalkboard and the theory dudes, those type of dudes. You ain't got to be that. Just knowing the basics, knowing how to read chord charts, you know, for rhythm guitar players, you know. And that's not that difficult to do. Yeah, and I mentioned you don't have to be no theory expert because, again, those guys belong in the classroom and not up on stage. Okay, the next one is real simple. Be a team player. You know, unless your name is on the marquee, you know, you're working for somebody and you're part of the backdrop. You're not part of the front lead thing. Unless, again, your name on the marquee and you are the star. If you're not, you're part of the guys in the back and women. Okay, the next one is have a good feel. That is something that nobody can teach you. You can go to Berkeley, you can go to the best music schools in the world. They can't teach you that. That comes from within here. You know, and that ain't nothing that nobody can unleash but yourself. And you can unleash it from a lot of practice. Because, again, I stress that practice thing. Practice, practice, practice. Okay, the next one is no drugs or alcohol-related problems. You know, you're not doing anybody any justice showing up at the gigs drunk or high or anything like that. You know, you need all your faculties to concentrate on being a good musician. And I know, unfortunately, drugs and the music industry go hand in hand, but to me, it comes from a strong family foundation. You know, if you've been taught well by your mother and your father, whoever raised you, your belief system can't be rocked or altered, regardless of you sitting in front of, and here's a true story. On a couple of occasions, I went to gigs or recording studio sessions, and it was like a cocaine party. The producer, or should I say, the engineer had coke on the board, and some of the musicians. And I'm like, I'm not a part of that. And after I viewed that, I never worked with those people again, because I don't like that in my world. You know, I don't want drug guys around me or people that got alcohol problems, you know, because it hinders and interferes with the music, and it's all about the music. So the next one is another, you know, no-brainer. Be on time for rehearsals and gigs. You know, nobody should have to call you and go looking for you when you know when you're supposed to be somewhere and you're not. You know, that get more musicians fired than anything, because you could be the greatest musician. If you're not showing up, they ain't got time for that. You know, they find somebody else that's hungry and want to play. So definitely, you know, just in life in general, not even necessarily pertaining to music, be on time. When you tell somebody you're going to be somewhere, be there, or at least let them know ahead of time that you're not going to be there. You know, that's one of my pet peeves. Okay, team player, we touched on that. Knowing your part in the band. You know, I know within the bands that I play in my part, you know, and knowing your part, you know, as opposed to you clashing with other musicians because you don't know your part. And that's where good feels come in, good feel. Because a lot of times you can just come in and say, I feel why I'm supposed to be here, as opposed to someone has to tell you, no, you should be here instead of there. You know, so that's important. And then I guess the last one is try try to prepare for this. And what I mean by that is if you feel the urge to become a professional musician, you need to know what it entails, meaning that you're going to be traveling, you're going to be gone long periods of time. So if you're trying to start a family at the same time, that probably won't work. You might want to try to do this before you kind of get, I guess, really committed to a situation where you're having kids and starting a family. Those two are not a good mix. I would recommend anybody that's interested is start young because, again, this is a youth-driven industry, unfortunately. That's just the reality of it. And, whether you like it or not, it is what it is. Because I've run into some people and I didn't have the heart to say this because I'm like, it's not my place to burst their bubble. But they come to me in their 40s, late 40s, and they're going to try to start a singing career. And it's like, at the age you are now, this is when they let people out of their contracts, and you just coming in when these people are leaving. And I know everybody's life situation is different. Maybe they didn't have time or the opportunity or the skills or the talent in their 20s to do, but now they do. But unfortunately, they missed the bus. And again, this is not Morrisman talking. This is the industry. This is a cutthroat, ruthless industry. They don't care about your feelings. The only thing they care about is you making the money. So if you're thinking about this, do it young. Do it when you're not attached and trying to start a family or got kids at home, because again, that's not a good mix. Once you get established, you can start your family, maybe you're making some good money, yeah, then you can do that. But try to prepare for what you're trying to do, because again, a lot of people just not prepared, and sometimes you just don't know what you don't know, but again, that's just how the industry works. I mean, trust me, I've been a part of the industry since I was in my early 20s, and I've seen the changes. I've seen things that I really didn't agree with. I've seen things that I didn't like, but you have to separate yourself from the things that you don't like because music is about feeling a certain way and having that magic, spark, but there are a lot of things that will kill that magic as far as not working with the people that you feel a bond or a jail with, because that's another thing. Play with people that you have a jail with, because you ask yourself, if you had a choice between the two, which one would you pick? Somebody that's an unbelievable musician but an asshole, you don't like him, he don't like you, zapping your energy, or a guy that gets the job done and you jail and there's no issues between you and that other guy. I picked the second one, every time. Because I've been there. I've worked with world-class musicians that think they're gods. Then I work with just average people that did a good job, So until next time, I hope this was informative and helpful. As always, thanks for watching.